America now, which is a complete different world again, and it makes it kind of awkward for you to conquer Europe, I would imagine.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, I think that I've always just been kind of nomadic, you know, since a kid I've always just travelled around. I grew up in the forest, you know, in the outskirts of Melbourne. So
I grew up in the forest.
I actually did. It was on the top of a mountain. I grew up in the forest. I know it sounds kind of weird, but yeah, and I kind of, you know, I always sort of, when I turned about 15, 16, I was just always on trains and buses everywhere, sort of travelling around. So for me, it's kind of like, you know, if I'm in the northern hemisphere, then everything's fair game, I guess.
So what kind of kid were you? Were you a good kid? Were you a wild kid? What kind of kid were you?
I mean, I was always into music, and then I guess when I dropped out of high school when I was about 17, and I think, you know, kind of went off the rails a bit. But, you know, just, you know, nothing too bad, but nothing too good, you know what I mean? And then I guess I just sort of rediscovered music when I was about 19, and was fortunate enough to be able to record. And
so what were you doing? You know, you say 19, that means you were either at college, dropped out of college, or you had a crap job, really.
Well, I had a really crap job. I worked at KFC, which is like, I think probably the worst job you can ever have. I never knew cooking chicken could be so difficult, but apparently, but I discovered that it is. It's kind of like
explain the secret, Mr. and Mrs. KFC. The Colonel will be like kind of looking here. What's difficult about the way they cook a chicken? Because they cook zillions of bits of chicken. They
cook so much chicken. The thing was, you have to place the chicken in this particular order on the rack, and then you've got all these settings, all these buttons. Maybe it's just me, maybe I'm just stupid, but it was quite complicated. But the moment that I knew that I was never going to eat sort of like fried chicken again, we won't say the name of the establishment, but they made us scrape out all of the sort of grimy part from the bottom of the oil vat and put it in the potatoes and gravy. So, and that was my favourite dish. That was my favourite thing. And as soon as I saw that, I was like, no. I mean, I'm sure they don't do it in the UK.
No,
I'm sure it's just an Australian thing, you know. But,
I think the tradition of cooking in the fat of you know the critter is that's normal everywhere, I would presume. Even grannies in Britain do that.
What, scrape out the
not off the floor.
What about you put it in the gravy? Well, hey, it makes the gravy. This is the problem. The gravy actually tastes really good. You know what I mean? So you're onto something.
So, at the present moment, I'm presuming here that you are wallowing in your stardom. As the fame side of it, you know, because your career's building up in all the right directions. Everybody's saying good stuff about you, and as soon as anybody hears your voice, they know that there's a talent here. So, is fame what you thought it would be when you were the man of the mountains there?
I mean, to be honest, it doesn't really feel like that to me. I keep to myself. I sort of, you know, I'm on the road a lot. I'm always really busy. I'm sort of rehearsing with my band a lot. There's nothing a lot that I feel like I can wallow in at the moment. I'm sort of working really hard at the moment, but you know, it's great. I just love music. You know, I love making music. I love playing music. So I'm just really enjoying that. I mean, it's you know, kind of it's an amazing sort of thing to be able to go just travel around and sing songs that you've written. You know, so it's absolutely a lot of fun.
Well, we're going to have a little bit more of a conversation with this man. I'm going to take a quick break, Dan, so just hang on in there.
All right.
Call from Daniel Merriweather right here on Metro.